Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. The little things get you beat. The little things get you beat. And another loss where we are up this time now three scores, up 17 points in the third quarter, 27-10. We still find a way, manage to lose this game in overtime to the Jacksonville Jaguars, 40-34 on the road as we prepare to play Philadelphia at home on Christmas Eve next Saturday. But as we break this game down today, there's going to be folks out there who are, with low football IQ banter as usual, blaming Dak Prescott and blaming the same old, same old. Look, we gave up 503 yards today. And it's not just because of Dan Quinn or anything, or when you lose the amount of starters we lost today and guys going in and out of the game. I know Donovan Wilson came back, but LVE out and the corners that are gone to where we finished the game, mostly with Nashawn Wright out there, and just the mash unit of defensive personnel that's out there. You're going to end up in situations where you're having trouble closing football games. You're allowing chunk yardage. You're up 27-10. Worst thing you can do is give up a big play. We give up a 59-yard touchdown to Zay Jones, where we get beat on a very simple, a double move, and boss man bites on it. Who at this point, he looks like an absolute bust as a second round pick. He's done absolutely nothing for us at corner and been an absolute disaster for us, replacing Anthony Brown and his injury. The issues that we now have, consistently getting to the passer. I thought there was some good pressure on Trevor Lawrence today, but obviously not enough to cause the mistakes and to slow things down. And then you add that in conjunction with allowing 197 yards rushing today. Look, these numbers are plain in sight here. This isn't stuff we're trying to hide. This isn't, an aspect of football that, is a mystery to anybody, right? This is the reality of the situation that loses games. So, we have uh you know, when somebody's allowed to throw for 300 something yards and allowed to run for almost 200 yards today, um, which comes out to what, a little over 7 yards per carry, you have issues. You have issues. This isn't the same defense that we saw for such a large part of the season, and this is a result of where the whole point is getting to where we want to get to at in the postseason. So much of that is, what is your personnel? Because I don't know what the Cowboys personnel is going to be come this January, essentially, when we get into playoffs, because eventually we'll clinch and we'll be there. But um, you know, I can we can go off on the offense, and I will get to that stuff. But damn it, if you score 34 points, if you have 21 points at halftime, and this defense is who we say it is, you should close these football games. You shouldn't give up leads up 17, even with that's where you have margin, right? So we want to talk about the overthrow from Dak in the end zone. That was his first real mistake as he's dealing with a lot of pressure. I thought Dak was actually brilliant today, playing with the dirty pocket, playing with guys that get absolutely no separation downfield outside of CD Lamb and moving the ball downfield. Our run game was good, not great today, and at times bad, depending on the offensive line. But yes, he has an overthrow. That score goes from 27-17 to 27-24. Again, when you have a 17-point lead, though, you have margin. So if you're telling me that one bad throw can flip the whole game and not allow us to win, then what are we even talking about here? What are we even talking about here? And the other thing too is, offensively, yes, 34 points. In my opinion, that should be enough to win. In my opinion, that's good enough. This team, talent wise, is top heavy though on offense. There's a reason why when Dak's there, they're the number one offense. They always get over 30 something points every week. They've had 7 straight games over 25 points scored, but they go to 27th in the bottom of the league when he's not there, and they can't crack 20 points half the time. The reason being is you have premier talent like Tony Pollard. You have excellent talent like Ezekiel Elliott. You have a good quarterback in Dak Prescott. You have excellent talent in CeeDee Lamb. After that, everybody else is really dependent upon what Dak does. Noah Brown is really dependent upon quarterback play. The tight ends are dependent upon quarterback play. Period. They're not going to win. The Cowboys are 32nd in the NFL in separation from their pass catchers. 32nd in the NFL in separation from their pass catchers. They are in the 20s in pass protection. Yet they are still at the top of the league in third down percentage. They are at the top of the league in points scored. They're at the top of the league in all these efficiency things. So what do you think that is? So again, if we want to assign blame to the quarterback, you want to blame Dak because he freaking put the ball in between the 8 and the 5 on Noah Brown, and he still bitched up and bobbled the ball up in the air. You want to put that on Dak? Put it on Dak. I'm tired of the low football IQ conversations. Let's actually get into the cause and effect here. Let's actually talk about what's happening on the field instead of cherry picking the same tired ass arguments and excuses on why this team either wins or doesn't win and only putting it on one person on this team. Let's actually talk football because I'm sick of this. And I'm tired of certain people being let off the hook while we just channel all of our energy at blaming the same person every single week. It's tired. It's lazy. I don't respect people's football opinions, and I won't be giving any more energy to those conversations if that continues to persist. Not to say that people should not be held accountable, not to say that Dak should not be held accountable when he doesn't play well or he makes poor throws or makes poor decisions. I've always held him accountable in those regards. But letting up 27 points, because it was a pick 16 in the game, so 27 points in the second half, and allowing 8 for 12 on third downs, 500 yards, 7.2 yards per play, 27 points in the second half, almost 400 yards in the second half. And I understand the injuries, I understand all that. That's why you lost the football game. And you don't have a good enough head coach to get you out of certain situations or manage the game better. And that's another reason why I'm concerned. This team has a floor, or I'm sorry, a ceiling on what they can do. They are not the Philadelphia Eagles. They're not even the 49ers in terms of what we consistently know that they will come with, especially at the end of the season, because those teams have better coaching. Those teams have more talent than the Cowboys. Noah Brown had a good day today before that drop. He wouldn't start for any of these teams in the league. The freaking Jaguars start Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk. I don't have none of those people. I have CeeDee Lamb, who's better, who's that guy, and Michael Gallup, who hasn't looked like himself since his knee injury last year. He's pretty much non-existent. So he's just running routes for cardio. Noah Brown led my team in targets today. I don't have my other killer, Jake Ferguson, at tight end. We're throwing go routes to Peyton Hendershot. So stop talking to me about all this talent we have. We're top heavy. Watch the games. Watch other teams. Noah Brown wouldn't play on Jaguars. Look at Cedric Wilson. Look how much football Cedric Wilson played for us. He can't play on Miami. But Dak got him paid. He goes to Miami. He can't even get on the field. Too much talent over there. Stop telling me how talented this team is. They're top heavy. And even defensively, now the depth is hit. They're top heavy. And yeah, I think that if we are on our game and we have a little bit more health, we can play with the Eagles and potentially beat them and play with this team and beat them. Yeah. I have a quarterback that's always going to give me a chance. But we don't look at it that way. We blame him and then ignore the fact that you got people that would not be playing on other rosters. We started this fucking season with Dennis Houston playing as our starting receiver. You want to talk to me about, and people like Simi Fihoku. Where, like, I don't see T Higgins and Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd out there. We don't have a receiver right now. Now, God bless TY. Hopefully TY can help us. We don't have a receiver right now that runs under a 4.5 outside of Turpin, who doesn't play. So your big play threat is us running wheel routes out of the backfield for Tony Pollard or trying to get him isolated in the slot, other than what CeeDee Lamb can give us. Like I said earlier, we are last in the league in separation, which means we are throwing into the tightest windows in the league and still putting up 30 points plus. Problem is, your defense has gone to crap. Your coaches don't know how to get you out of situations. The 3rd and 10 was a disaster. Okay, you're throwing a go route. Yes, that's on Dak. That's on Kellen Moore. It's on everybody. But Mike McCarthy, as the head coach, you tell your people what you want them to do in those scenarios. I want something end breaking. I want a guaranteed completion if we're throwing, or run the ball and make them use that last timeout. But they can't stop the clock and keep the timeout. That's a no-no. We all know that watching football. So we get the fumble. The defense finally does something, and that's what we do. That's how we counter. That's how we counter. I'm pissed off, man. This team, the scenarios we've been in, uh, uh, um, to lose this game, to lose in Green Bay when we have all of the penalty issues, the games they're playing with the offensive line. Um, Look, I know the whole Tyron Smith thing at right tackle is cool. It looks cool with next to Zach Martin. I was always of the liking of putting Tyron Smith back at left tackle, putting Tyler Smith at left guard, taking Connor McGovern off, making him the swing role or whatever that thing we were doing with him last year, and trying to get Jason Peters over there at right tackle. Look, losing Terrence Steele has really hurt this football team, especially from a pass blocking perspective. And he was an elite run blocker. This has hurt this football team. And now you have Tyler on at left tackle still struggling. This offensive line got their ass whooped in pass pro today. Don't get it twisted. This thing is, number 4 cleans up a lot of shit, and he's getting out of the pocket and trying to make things happen. We are getting our pocket was getting blown up. We were going max protect sometimes. 66. Go watch the game. Look how often 66 is on the ground, snap to snap. That even on run plays, because we should be able to run the football even better than what we ran it today with Tony Pollard and Zeke. And Zeke's been going hard all year. He's not the problem. Top heavy talent. It's easy to bracket CeeDee Lamb. Why? Good teams with a whole bunch of weapons, you can't run back bracket coverage on people like that. Doesn't happen. Same old, same old. At least we got 10 wins, and they're stacking wins season over season. I'll take that. I'm frustrated with this loss right now. We'll have some prep for the Eagles before, but overall, I'm not really pleased right now. But let me know in the comments how you feel. If you guys want to continue to push BS narrative in there, go off. I'm not here to argue with anybody. The only people I'm giving my energy to, and it's not about disagreeing with me. That's not the point. The point is, stop pushing the same tired narrative as if you didn't watch the football game, because we can have respectful discourse over what is real, what is fixable, and what we just have to try to hide. We can have that conversation on this channel and on Twitter and on social media. But what I'm not giving energy to anymore is people just saying, well, if we had a better quarterback, we'd be better. No. Y'all can miss me with that BS. Tired of I don't have time for low football IQ folks and the casuals out there. That's not what this channel is about. We're actual fanatics. We actually watch the game. We actually know the game, and we can speak to the game and articulate what's going on. Those are the people we're going to have conversations with. Shout out to the sponsor, Last Stand Hats, laststandhats.com/fanatic. Use that promo code fanatic10, 10% off at checkout. Wonderful hats like here. up top. Bowl games coming. We're gonna have bowl prep coming for Texas. So go and check those guys out if you're looking for some fresh gear to wear in San Antonio for the Alamo Bowl, Texas versus Washington, as well as some other Texas schools that we have on the site. lastnightHats.com/fanatic, promo code fanatic 10% off at checkout. Talk to me, guys. Peace.